You're not being ignored by your specific person, but if you're putting out this chasing or needy, desperate energy with your actions, with your intentions and what you've been focusing on, then that's what's going to be reflected back by your SP. And today's video is going to explain to you guys how to let go of that, remove that kind of energy and behavior, shift around your mindset so that your person is actually going to start chasing you. Hey guys, welcome back to another video for your specific person. I do these videos regularly, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel. The button's right below and you can stay up to date with everything. You're not going to miss out on any of the content. So as I said, we are talking about your specific person and getting them to chase you because you have the ability. It's all within your control. And I'm going to delve into all the different points, as always, different sections to tell you guys about today. So stay tuned throughout the video. And of course, before we jump into it, anyone considering coaching or any extra services for manifestation, everything is popped on screen, linked in the description box. So take a look. One thing that I will start with is if you are struggling with your self-concept or you find that you constantly doubt and spiral and react to what you maybe interpret or worry might be a rejection in the 3D, and then your self-concept wavers, or you really personalize something like, you know, maybe constantly checking for a message from your SP, not seeing it, and then internalizing it, making assumptions based on that, or, you know, just really feeling not chosen, saying that you're rejected, or SP constantly treats you a certain way, that ties into your self-concept. So that is one element to keep in mind, because again, if you're struggling with that and you constantly revert back to that way of thinking, or you're, you know, waiting and looking at the external validation, and then you're seeing something negative, or you're, in this case, not being chased and pursued by your person, then it's easy to internalize that and reflect it back into your self-concept. But it is something to be aware of, because you can use self-concept affirmations. Obviously, the first example that comes to mind would be, you know, saying I'm chosen, but literally being aware of it and then being able to turn it around into any literal positive opposite, or just using whichever self-concept affirmations you have been, because then your energy can get well, I say energy, I don't mean like literal energy, it's more like mental focus. The energy and attention that you put to something is going to get stuck on trying to get reassurance, validation, and the physical results with your specific person, which is usually, you know, starting with communication, especially in terms of being chased and pursued, instead of being the version of you who is wanted, being the version of you who is pursued and chased by your SP. You want to imagine and mentally live as if that is the truth. Imagine it, visualize it, because remember, your subconscious mind doesn't, this is something I've said in a lot of previous videos, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagined and real experiences. If you mentally live it, mentally embody it, eventually it has to start materializing, and just literally aligning with that version of you who has the relationship, who has the commitment, being chased, being pursued. You're focusing on that, you're bringing that into fruition, rather than just wasting a lot of energy, your energy and attention on, you know, what's SP saying? You know, why are they not doing this? Why aren't they asking me out on a date? Why isn't the relationship progressing? Putting everything externally. You keep that attention on the 3D reality, then it's leading to maybe higher or just sustained levels of mental resistance. It does break down, because if you apply repetition with your affirmations, it will, but it's kind of slowing things down. It's like a push and pull effect. You're doing both at the same time. It's not as fast or effective as it could be. So you want to make sure you're not constantly seeking and looking outwards for your assumptions, for how you know, fast you're able to manifest, for example, based on what's going on externally around you. You want to make sure you're reminding yourself and focusing on, I can manifest my specific person perfectly because I'm already in that reality. They are conforming, they are chasing me, pursuing me, they're falling in love with me, you know, going into this internal, inner reality, inner conversations, and just disengaging from that obsession with the 3D reality, because it can sustain any past mental resistance, because you're just going to reaffirm the same thing. It's not going to change by constantly looking externally. Also, remembering a key principle that I always remind my clients of when they're wavering. It's so important to remember your SP is a mirror reflection of your beliefs, not directly reflecting you. I know sometimes if people aren't aware of this concept, or at the beginning it might seem a little confusing, but literally all you have to remember is they will mirror reflect back physically in the external reality what you focus on, whatever your dominant focus and beliefs are about them, dating, relationships, You don't have to specifically work on, dating and self-concept assumptions. If they're negative, it would help, but directly your relationship with them, of course, they are going to reflect that. If you keep looking to the 3D reality externally and then not seeing what you want, or seeing slow progress, making assumptions based on that, that's just going to continue. Stop chasing your specific person, like literally constantly trying to message them or pursue them. You don't need to take that physical action unless it comes up as inspired action in the moment. You'll know it will just happen naturally. It will come together naturally. Your job is to focus on your own mindset. And as soon as you start doing that, as soon as you stop chasing, you shift your energy, you shift your, you're the one on the pedestal, you're the prize. Think from that energy. Tell yourself self-concept affirmations if you need to. Loop your SP affirmations that you don't need to worry, you don't need to lift a finger. They are pursuing you. They are chasing you. That's the energy you want. You're instantly starting to create that shift. And the overall principle, again, tying into the one I just spoke about, but the main principle of law of assumption is assuming it's done. And assuming it's already yours brings it into physical fruition. You're literally, quantum shifting, observing something in order to bring it into your experience. And by focusing on it and saying, this is mine, I have this now, my reality actually looks like this, it's going to come together. You can't create what you want by focusing on a lack or the opposite. So essentially, when you feel chosen, wanted, pursued, valued, respected, desired, all these different self-concept notions by your specific person, not just I'm chosen, but specifically you're chosen by your SP, thinking from that version, they will start to mirror that. They will start to conform into the version and become the version in your physical reality who reflects that, who acts that way, who starts to communicate with you, text you, chase you, pursue you. It can take a little bit of time. So I know the frustration comes in there with the, impatience and not seeing it fully come in, but you need to keep focusing on that. You need to persist in that until they come in. It doesn't matter how long. It's not going to be a long time if you stay consistent with it. But people always ask how long? Well, until it's fully yours, until it fully comes in, because the law of assumption states it has to. So the key points and elements here of how to do this: what version of yourself are you? How do you see yourself? I don't mean you have to physically go out and take certain actions, but how do you think? What is your mindset? Do you think and see yourself as the version who is chosen, who is pursued, who gets this treatment from your SP? You have to think that way before it can physically reflect. You will begin to believe it. You will begin to feel and embody and just think, and your mindset will shift into this version of you who is wanted, desired, the best version of yourself, the one who doesn't need to lift a finger. You just feel and know that your specific person feels that way about you. And try and detach and not focus so much on, like I said, the external reality, but also the actual how it will unfold. When will it unfold? You don't need to worry about that. You don't control that. Obviously, we're not here, playing our own version of the Sims game. We are just here to focus our mindset, think as if, and then the physical will come in on it in its own way. So you don't need to worry or analyze or constantly look externally, because that's not going to give you the answers you're seeking. So really try and shift more of your focus onto your inner reality, your inner conversations, the way you think to yourself throughout the day, because that's what, in quantum terms as well, the quantum reality is going to reflect and respond to. The energy you're putting out, the focus you're putting in, are you mentally living as if and thinking as if you're already the version with SP, being chased, being desired, pursued, they just adore you? Are you thinking as that version? You have to be able to align with it internally before it can become physically true. So I think I'm going to leave this video here for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that, found it useful. I tried to really go over kind of like a more simplified checklist of the main key areas you want to focus on to shift around the energy and actually turn the tables. You're the prize, you're on the pedestal, and have your SP chase after you. So if you enjoyed this kind of content, you'd like me to delve deeper into these topics, make more SP content, please do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time.